Hey YouTube family, this is your boy Joe, the Wealth Architect, and just wanted to say that I'm excited that we reached and we have exceeded the 100 YouTube subscriber mark. So that's I wanted to say that first, but I want to give a more formal introduction to all of you. So again, I'm Joe, the Wealth Architect. And I've been teaching personal finance for 30 years. Obviously, it's something I'm very passionate about. And it all started from when I was incarcerated in the early 90s. And so I want to just give you a little bit more background so you understand why I'm passionate about this and what this is all about in terms of the SSI method, the SSI way, and what I'm all about. And so, like I said, I started off in the early 90s, incarcerated with a 25-year to life sentence. You heard that right, a 25-year to life sentence. Like you, I was shocked and surprised, and I had to find a way to deal with the reality and really do some deep introspection in terms of what got me to that point physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And it started, I would say, with my response to the crack epidemic in the early 80s and how I ended up going to the streets, getting in trouble, trying to make fast money to fit in, and dealing with, as I realize now, the stigma of poverty. And as a result, made a lot of poor choices that culminated in my being incarcerated with a sentence of 25 to life. And so one of the things I realized is that at the root cause of some of my behavior was a real or imagined need for money. So I was chasing the bag, as they say, but didn't know how to go about it right without hurting people, without hurting myself, and getting caught up in the system. And so I, as a result, in the early 90s, around 94, I started reading books about personal finance and entrepreneurship. And I took to it readily, and it has changed my life. I mean, and that's no exaggeration. I have since then, since 1995, been teaching entrepreneurship and personal finance, had a positive impact on hundreds, if not thousands of people's lives. So that has given me a sense of purpose. But it is also, in terms of my being a practitioner and not just talking about this stuff, has put me in a good place financially in terms of having my money work for me. And so that's what the SSI method is all about. It's a wealth building framework based on 3 pillars: the spending plan, a savings plan, and an investing plan. And as the weeks and months go by, you'll be able to really grasp it and put it into practice, because at the end of the day, it's all about practice. But what I wanted to really get into today, now that I've gotten some of the background information out the way, is talk about emotional spending and retail therapy. So before we can get into really dive into having a good savings plan and a good investing plan, we need to have a good spending plan. And in order to have a good spending plan, I'm of the belief that we really need to unpack and get to the root of some of our poor spending habits, right? It's not just about following step-by-step procedures and then all of a sudden we spend less, we're making money, we're rich, and we live life happily ever after. We really have to get into retail therapy or spending based on our emotional pain, emotional issues that have largely gone unaddressed, right? That's where we need to begin. And so when it comes to emotional spending, I had my podcast episode on a different playlist, Voices from the Grind, which is based on me as a host, of course, and justice impacted people talk about their relationship, their pain points, and their goals and aspirations when it comes to money. And so I had a young lady, Eileen, who talked about some of her reasons for spending in a way that did not serve her. And she was very candid, very transparent, and I just thought it was great that she talked about for her emotional spending largely stemmed from needing validation, from feelings of loneliness, from relationship issues, a response to it, from trying to help others, even meaning financially, like giving money to other people as a way to feel good. And it was so enlightening that I thought that it would be a good idea for us to talk about that. So I'd like you to think about what are some of the root causes of your emotional spending. What causes you to buy impulsively only to regret it later? Is it anxiety? Is it feelings of loneliness? Is it feelings of inadequacy, needing to feel validated, right? I mean, and let me just say that when we think about these things, we shouldn't necessarily feel guilty. We're humans, and so we're going to feel these things. But the thing is to be aware, right? So that we can begin to replace some of those thoughts, some of those feelings with positive thoughts, positive feelings, and positive behaviors. That's at the root of having a spending plan. It's not just about numbers, right? But it's about unpacking those traumas that many of us carry, especially those who have done time and have been through quite a bit in our lives. It's really important that we get a good handle of these things. So if this is something that resonates with you, I want you to, one, subscribe to the channel so we can get more information, or you can get more information about how you can get control of your emotional spending. Two, I want you to share the link to the channel or tell your family members and friends about the channel so they can also be in the loop. And I would like you to leave a comment, right? So basically subscribe, share, and leave a comment, right? Tell us, what are some of the emotional triggers that lead you to emotional spending, right? And one of the things that I want to also make sure I mention before I forget is that I have devised a 7-day emotional spending detox challenge, and you can get a copy by emailing me at mindfulmoneyllc@gmail.com. So that's one word, mindful, instead of being mindless, mindfulmoneyllc@gmail.com, and I will email you that challenge, right? So again, it's a 7-day emotional spending detox, and I use that term deliberately because for many of us, our spending is like a drug habit, right? The endorphins kick in just like drugs do, right? Or in a positive sense, just like working out does, right? But nonetheless, we are triggered chemically, right? Internally to spend. And as a result, it gives us a dopamine rush, makes us feel good temporarily. And I always like to say, you know, we feel good sometime when we're swiping a credit card, but then once we get that bill, then we're no longer smiling, we're no longer happy. So we want to turn this around and really master the SSI method, Again, spending plan, savings plan, and investing. And we want to take our money and our mindset to the next level. So with that said, peace out. And I look forward to hearing your comments about how this resonates with you and how together we can begin to build intergenerational wealth. Again, this is your boy, Joe, the Wealth Architect. And until next time, peace out.